Hello Guardians, it is Ebontis, and in this one, we are going to go for a long journey. Thrilladrome. There's not really a fast way to do this one on Master, I'm going to tell you. If I die, forgive me, but we're going to try not to. But there's a lot of reasons you will die, so let's cover the ways to try and stay alive the best we can. First one, melee resistance is good because there are some overload champions who may just smack you in the face. Second, void resistance. Basically, everything that's going to kill you in here is void. And concussive damper. Lots of, concussive explosions going on. 100 resilience. Also to help you, hopefully, survive. Everything else is just trying to get my grenade back. Kind of boost my stats a little bit. See if I can find some heavy ammo. Pick up void orbs. That kind of thing. Now, I am recording this post-Iron Banner. So I got Feeding Frenzy and Destabilizing Rounds on my Hero's Burden. Granted, you can call it streamer's luck, whatever you want. I got a pretty good roll. Perfect? No, pretty good. Not going to argue. So, it's a decent roll, so I'm going to use it. You could use a funnel web. You could use whatever you want. That is my overload weapon. On one side. The other side is I am going straight up sword. Now, the reason I am going sword is because it is overload Minotaurs. And they rush you. Now, if you think of other overload champions like, I don't know, a captain, they teleport, they move around. But if you can tag them enough, you are going to be able to stun them, do some damage. The key is right now it can be kind of hard to nuke a champion. So, you've got two ways to handle this. One, you can go with the setup that I've got. Kind of a sword to nuke them pretty quick. Do some damage, stun them, kind of hope you kill them. But honestly, the way we are set up right now, I feel like Strand really is one of the better ways to manage these enemies. Because you can go Shackle Grenade, you can pop them up in the air, you can continue to hit them with a sword, you can shoot them with the gun, you can keep the stun on them, you can lower their health, and you can manage them that way. Now, as a Titan, I have, of course, the Lash possibility, which is, if I do my class ability, I can suspend them just with my class ability. I will try not to use that. In a pinch, I may, but we will try not to. So, Shackle Grenade, one type of stun. Second type of stun, your overload weapons. Now, other ways that you can do this. Void Suppression. Now, I haven't tested this yet, but Stasis actually would probably be a decent one. So, if I had space, something like, trying to think, Chill Clip, Fusion Rifle, Riptide. Sorry, it's sitting on another character. That would be a pretty decent one as a way to slow them and then still put out a decent amount of damage. So you have some options here. Now, the one that I'm honestly considering is if you pull out your exotics, you go to your energy, and we look at this thing that we all have not used in a while. And it's this, Wave Splitter. Now, you can make this thing really cool because collecting an orb of power grants maximum power, and sustained fire suppresses. So, I know these are not amazing, but if you could pick up an orb, theoretically it could be fun. I may try this on a future run, but suppressing will stop an overload champion. And if it's strong enough with maybe an orb or something, you might be able to put out enough power. I have medieval champion on, so I'm going to go sword, lash grenade, stunning, that kind of thing. Apparently I have too much resilience somehow. Not normally an issue, so I'll just throw a little bit more towards my grenade. It's fine. Now, barrier. I am trying to do this with no exotics on weapons. I have this on, so it doesn't take 6 years, mostly, more than anything. Long enough as is. I'm using Disparity. I will tell you 100% now. If you have Wish Ender, hits like a truck, infinite ammo, amazing. Another option. The new player quest will get you Arbalist. Also a barrier weapon. Hits very hard. Also a good weapon to hit hard and have kind of a backup. So this is going to be very slow because I'm just using a pulse. I do not recommend doing this because you're not going to have to do the ridiculous thing I do with the boss that takes me 6 years. That being said, if you don't have those weapons and you just want to do this at least the one time for the triumph, or maybe it's just, this is the day for an exotic and you want to give it at least one whirl, you can. So overload, I've got quite a few options because those Minotaurs kind of suck. The only problem with this is I don't have a great heavy. And this is why I really want to go Wish Ender. But you'll see why. So, we're going to jump in. I'll show you guys how this horrible run goes. This is not the most farmable Lost Sector. Probably the least farmable last sector, but we're going to try and survive it and see if anything drops. Here we go. All right, so when you start, it's just kind of all about managing everything that's in front of you. First, we've got our circumstantial controller, and these guys are tucked in a few of these places. Not a big deal. So that's my destabilizing rounds actually getting a little work done. Now, you're going to have a few ads right here. I would not literally peek any farther than this if you don't have to. Now, if you can pull any more of them up the stairs, we'll see if we can. Otherwise, there's more up. Yeah, there's Barrier Champion up there. Open the door. Yeah, you can die so many ways in this one. Not funny. Yeah, Barrier Champion sucks. And we're already dead once. Cool. At least it's early. So it won't be a flawless one. Now, if you were higher level, if I was like 1820 or something like that, technically what am I? 1820. So in, you know, the numbers game, I'm at the highest level I theoretically could be, but somehow I still feel like I could be in better shape. Alright. Now, barrier. This is the slow man's game now. Why does this seem so much worse than last time? Somehow I got that guy. Don't ask me how. And we've found a champion. I think that's going to be the overload that's farther away, because these guys up here, not so bad. Oh, I totally forgot I do not have my void grenades. I'm just going to go for the finish here, even if I die. Damn. Well, this is going poorly, to say the least. At least I can suspend him for a while. Can I finish him before I die? Let's find out. So again, I said I was going to try not to use that on champions. That doesn't mean I won't try and use it on other things. Being this close to a Hydra, I would not recommend. No one probably would. I'd probably tell you just pull back and shoot him from range, especially with your barrier weapon. And this is where something like Wish Ender is so good. It just hits so much harder than anything else, and you never run out of ammo. That is like one of the main reasons I would tell anybody to buy the Forsaken expansion is Wish Ender is worth the dungeon entrance, because that's the only place to get it from. It's frustrating it's still in there, but it is worth it. A preview of the final boss fight right there. Where did you come from? Oh, I forgot there's some fanatics up here. I could die again. Yeah, there's like 4 fanatics that spawn up here. Careful. They spawn after the Hydra, just to ruin your day. Here comes Overload Man. Now this is why I did Overload, because as you swing at him, you continually basically suppress him and stun him, as long as I'm not walking in. And you can kind of tend to power through it. Now, I need ammo, like it's going out of style. There we go. Because there are many more of those guys coming up, so hopefully we get some more. Void weapons will help also get you hopefully some ammo dropping, if we're lucky. We'll continue on trying to use the Void weapon when you can for that heavy ammo, thanks to the artifact. Gotta love explosions. Explosions are fun. That's why this weapon is actually fun. Feels pretty good, though. It's pretty... Now, this is going to be Barrier World. You are going to have a Minotaur in here. I will try and break his shield pretty early. Pull him back. usually make me a tangle. Bust up a few of these guys. Make them slightly easier to kill. And then start my volatile rounds going. Ta-da. More fun that way. Hey, some more heavy ammo. Not much, but a little. The barrier is going to be up there. Or down here with me. Shoot, why not? And again, if you can make the volatile round start in any way, it's pretty nice to be able to keep it going. Now there's another Minotaur up there, so we're not quite done with all this fun. So that's why I'm hanging around the corner, trying not to die from the pool that those guys leave. And destabilizing has some nice... It's got some potential. Is it the best? No, but it's definitely got some potential. Because if you kill one, then the next thing's going to have that volatile on it. And then you're kind of off to a pretty good start. Now, if I can just get a red bar down to 50%, you can always finish them. Don't forget about that benefit. Now, being as I've got volatile rounds, I got to be ready for the switch. Now, this guy I could probably do a little damage on, but the fun part is I can just pop him in the air and just work on him. Now, the big thing is I got to be ready to manage the barrier. So I'll make sure I'm reloaded. If he drops, he will go quickly into his shield, just like that. But my grenade's up, and that's the nice thing. As you do damage, getting your grenade back. That's one of those nice things about the grenades from Strand, is that you can actually do that. Oh, come on, buddy. There we go. It's like, do I just sit there? You got a few ads here. And then around the corner, you're going to have your Minotaurs. It gets to be real interesting when all that happens. So my goal is to try and pull one of them to me. Usually they'll come in here. That's where the shackle comes in. Got to keep the overload shots on him. Now he's like in the air, so he's being annoying. But again, overload sword on this one, honestly, while it sucks for the main boss, it's probably one of the better ways to do this. So believe me, the final, and this is why I tell you, the final boss, if you could use Wishender or Arbalist, I would. Wishender is really the best option because it doesn't run out of ammo. Next guy is coming in. Again, doing damage with the sword will give me my grenade back. And I can shackle him in the air, and I can keep wailing on him because he's overload, and I can keep that damage going. And there we go. So that is most of your champions except the barriers in the final area. So it's like outside of a couple stupid deaths, I probably could have been a little better off here. But again, this place is just a lot about patience and positioning. And then just having the ability to just manage the champions as best as you can. Sucks I have to do this with a sword, but that is the only way that I have found to really manage these guys and not have them kill you. There's a lot of stuff on the ground that wants to hurt me, but I want what's in the pools of doom. Alright, so I got two more. We got this guy over here. He always takes a hot minute. And I said this very clear from the start. Wishender, probably my most optimal pick I could probably think of for this. But not what I would recommend for a fast clear. So, unoptimal to say the least, but we're going to go in. Gonna have two barrier champions in here. This is the part where if you're doing a flawless, it's gonna be a little rough. I'm getting dive bombed here. Now there's a Cyclops in the middle that wants to absolutely ruin your day. So my recommendation is, one, you're going to have this guy up top. You're going to want to take him out. Cyclops is going to need to go at some point. Oh, with the snipe. Yeah, this is not a flawless run, so I'm not so worried about it, but that's why he sucks. So he has 2 side connections, and basically you need far enough over at an angle to see it. Kind of like this. And you really only need to manage one side of this arena to start. Because once you get to the other one, you're okay, because I'm also going to spawn the boss when the Cyclops dies. So, my goal here, if I don't get sniped, that was just crazy. Get a little finisher. Now I've got an arc cannon. If I don't die in the process. That is the problem with that Cyclops. He hurts like crazy. Trying to find an angle where I'm not just going to get ruined. God, even the splash damage on that thing is just brutal. Alright, so now you have the problem because you have a barrier champion out there in the middle and you're like, I'm holding a cannon. I really want to kill him. Really hard to aim though. And this is probably the better place I would tell you to use these things. Apparently the big boss is up. And this is where it gets fun. Yeah, use the cranium on these guys so you can get your positioning out of the way. Now, your goal here is to try and get an angle to where you can shoot the barrier champion if possible. Now, I suspended him in air, which is only going to do me so much good. It's going to let me work his health down for a little while, which is fine. Basically, just be ready for him to drop. Always make sure you're at good health when he's wiggling. Make sure you're ready to break the shield. And we're just going to work for the slow kill on the barrier champion. We've got this guy and one more champion that we got to kill. Everything else is going to be all about the final boss. And I've got a good angle for the final boss that's really manageable. Because barrier weapons will go through his shield. And that's why like Wishender would make pretty quick work of this guy. I gotta make sure I'm ready for the shield pop. Because I know it takes me at least 4 trigger pulls, so I gotta make sure I'm good. Make sure you stay in enough line of sight he doesn't go hiding so you can still get a decent shot on him. And again, Wishender would be so good in here just because it hits really, really hard. Like these numbers that you're seeing here, just peanuts in comparison to what it would be. Now, I have to go for the fun part. There's those guys down there. I'm going to just grapple them here and try and get me some cover against the boss. Now, I don't know if I'm going to get enough cover against the boss where I can shoot the guys in the middle, but I'm going to try. Because they really want to kill you. The Minotaur first. He's going to be your Void Splash. You can break his shield early. He's not so bad. Come on. There we go. Alright, barrier Hobgoblin kind of sucks. And again, I can strangle those guys. Just make sure he's got good footing. And again, doing damage, you will get your grenade back. Just not quite as quick as you might hope. As soon as he wiggles, though, make sure you reload. Ready for the break. And this is where anything better for DPS would be fantastic. And this is the problem with the sword, is because the boss literally floats in the air, and I have no way to do damage to him. Oh, don't you even. So again, if your angles aren't great, just pull back a little bit. Kind of peek. Again, the gun's in the right hand, so watch out for that. I just want these guys down. And then I'm going to go try and get my hiding spot. I've only got about 45 seconds left for this, so I really got to commit. So I'm going to try and get my grenade over there to him, so I can just go for the full send on the kill. Yay, heavy ammo. Doesn't do me any good, but it's there. Now, actually what worked for me, coming all the way back here, got to be kind of quick about it, but you're going vertical. And the goal of going vertical is if you get to the back of the platform and you crouch, you're actually pretty immune to his shots, and you've got a pretty good way to get out of line of sight. Now, why he's stuck where he is, don't ask me. He will eventually get to where he starts shooting me again. But the other thing is I can honestly just get unfettered shots at him pretty consistently. And if anything does manage to catch me, it's not that bad. But this is probably the best place that I have found to shoot him. A little bit of strafing back and forth. Darkness encroaches, so I have no more reses. So I'm just going to sit up here and park it. And then basically every third of health that I get off of him, I'm going to have a few more harpies that come out. And then we're going to pepper him down. But this is it. There's no fun, fashionable way to this. And this is where a Void... It's like I got here with Void before. It's like it's not going to do anything magical to him. It's just going to kind of... I don't even know if it'll unravel him at all. So yeah, if there's a better overload weapon for those champions, please post it in the comments. Sword in a grapple is just what worked for... Or sword in a suspend is what worked for me. So that first little third of health is gone, so you'll see some harpies come out at some point soon. But yeah, his angle is just going to be hitting right in front of me, mostly because I'm crouched here on the edge. If you do get hit with a shot, just back up a little bit. He's not going to tag you back here. Almost going to line of sight him. Now I've got my harpies out there. It'll take a little while for them to get over here. Just pepper them a little bit as they come over. They're a little weaker. They're not that bad. Again, this height up here does wonders when all the big stuff that can really get you is gone. Alright, so he's down. Back to the boss. And this is where, like, I mean, Wishender would be hitting them for, I don't know, 10k a pop. Times nearly 3. It's like 10k, 9k, 9k. I bet it would. I bet Wishender would make this thing like a joke for the barrier champions. Maybe the barrier champions would be a little harder, but as you're just mostly shooting them from cover, Wishender, worth the buy, or worth the investment in the quest. Yeah, this is a little boring. I am fully aware. Like, it doesn't do anything to him, it just annoys him for half a second. So you get low enough, should see the harpies coming out again. Wait till they get a little closer, because those far away shots don't do that much. And again, they're not even going to do that much to me up here. They don't climb this high. But as they're just one of those things that will try and kind of hit me from an angle I might not expect, that's where they are a focus. Two down. 3 down. Hey, what do you know? Leveled up a weapon. Yeah, basic pulse rifle will get the job done eventually, just not recommended. Wishender or Arbalest. Now, the problem with Arbalest is, yeah, you would hit pretty hard, but then you're, for one, you could run out of ammo, so this could take you a long time with a SMG from here. About 6 years. Honestly, like, that's why Arbalest, I don't know if I'd recommend it as much health as he's got, unless the thing just hits harder than I think it would, but after the linear nerfs, I kind of doubt it. So I really would probably go Wishender or Pulse, and Pulse is just going to be slow. I mean, sub 20 minutes is not the worst thing in the world, it's just, you know, you saw it, it was slow. Now, there are a few more ads over there. They're not required, just don't fall. Because none of them are champions. They're just basic guys. I'm gonna grab my loot. If I don't get killed trying to do it. And I got an engram. Should be platinum rewards though, so not too worried about it because everything over there is normal for your portal. And you're done. So yeah, Wishender for barrier would probably make that a lot better. Everything else kind of works for me, but if you've got a loadout you like, definitely put that in the comments below. If you've got any questions, throw those down there as well. If you want to find me on Twitch or Twitter, it's Ebontis. But if you're new, especially I know many of you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button, hit the alert bell. Helps my videos make it to you in the future. And again, I always appreciate the support. On our way to 100K, so all the support is beneficial. Thank you guys very much. Hopefully you enjoyed this guide, and I'll see you soon.